Hi friends, welcome to another chapter of Chocolate Fever. You may remember in chapter 7 we read Henry was running through the schoolyard and a group of boys was starting to surround him and kind of intimidate him. Finally, he was able to break free and run away, and then he just kept running and running. So now we're on chapter 8, titled Mac. In this chapter we meet a new character. Let's read more. Chapter 8, Mac. The truck thumped and rumbled along the superhighway, its powerful headlights cutting a yellow slice through the blackness. "Are you all right up there, kid?" the driver called. From the sleeping bunk set up high in the cab of the big diesel, Henry answered, "Right, Mac, I'm okay." Okay, Henry thought bitterly. Sure, I'm okay. I don't have a friend in the world. I look like some sort of sideshow freak. The police and doctors and my folks and heaven knows who else is after me. And I don't know where I'm going. If that's being okay, then I'm okay. He had stood out on the highway for a long time and watched the day turn into dark. Hundreds of cars and trucks had swept by without stopping. But Mac had stopped and offered him a lift. That was hours ago, and they had come a long way. Henry didn't know how many miles they had traveled or where they were headed. And what's more, he didn't care. He was sure that Mac had not seen his spots. It had probably been too dark to notice them. No one in his right mind would have anything to do with me, Henry thought. Not once they got a look at these stupid big brown spots. Even Mac was nice as he seemed, wouldn't have taken a chance if he had seen me clearly. "Hop in," Mac had said. "The weather's fine," a huge grin crossing his friendly face. He was a big black man dressed in dirty coveralls. His truck was clean and warm, and Henry didn't hesitate. After sitting alongside Mac for an hour or so in the front seat, Henry had climbed up to the bunk and fallen quickly asleep. He didn't know how long he had slept, but he felt rested now. Mac turned the big truck off the highway and onto a service road. Slowly, he shifted down the gears and braking gently brought the huge trailer to a stop. "Hey kid," he called, "come on down here." Henry climbed down to sit beside Mac. "Supper time," Mac said. "Now just as soon as I get the lights on." "I like the dark," Henry said quickly. "You what?" "I like the dark," Henry said as the lights came on. Henry blinked at the sudden brightness. "He's seen me now," he thought. Mac reached down below his seat and brought up a big picnic basket. He placed it between them on the seat. "Now let's see what that woman gave us for supper," he said. "It's all right," Henry said. "I'll get off here." "Huh?" "I won't make any fuss," Henry said. "I'll just go quietly." Oh, check out the picture of Mac and Henry on the truck. "You're a strange one, kid," Mac said. "Now, what are you talking about?" "Well, you must see these big brown spots all over me by now." Mac nodded. "Yeah, I see them." He began looking through the picnic basket. "You like ham and cheese?" "I'm willing to go," Henry began. "Maybe chicken spread. We got chicken spread too, and I do believe, yes, by heavens, tuna fish." "I mean," Henry began again, if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I'll understand. I really will." "What'll it be?" Mac asked. "Tuna, chicken spread, or ham and cheese?" He was looking squarely into Henry's face, smiling ever so slightly. "Tuna," Henry said after a moment, taking the sandwich Mac handed to him. "Glory be, we eat at last," Mac said. Henry gobbled the tuna sandwich in nothing flat, then went on to dispose of the ham and cheese. An apple, a piece of raisin cake, and half a thermos bottle of milk. There was chocolate cake too, but Henry declined it. Somehow, it didn't appeal to him. When they had finished eating, Mac settled back. "Mac," Henry said, "isn't there something you want to ask me?" "Sure, but I figure you're about to tell me what I want to know." Well, Henry began, I have this disease called chocolate fever. That's what these big brown spots are all over me. Chocolate. And nobody, especially a doctor named Fargo, knows what to do about it. So I'll probably have these spots on me for the rest of my life, and that's why you're running away, Max said. I have to run away, Henry said. I look so terrible and ugly. I wouldn't say ugly, Max said. Unique, maybe. What's that? Sort of special. But how can I live this way? I'm a freak, a chocolate freak. Easy now, Max said. Calm down. People will be looking, staring at me. How can I live with people staring at me? Mac chuckled softly. He looked away from Henry. How would you like it, Mac, if people stared at you? You know, kid, I've had some experience in that line myself, the man said quietly. You mean people stare at you? Uh-huh, Max said. When you're black and most of the other people are white, that's bound to happen. Gee, Mac, Henry said, I'm sorry. Oh, it's nothing personal, kid. Besides, by the time I was your age, I had gotten over it. But, getting stared at and some other things got me thinking. If there's so many white people and so few black people, why, that kind of makes me unique. You mean special? Exactly right. So all that staring and stuff, what it did was make me proud, Black is beautiful. That's okay for you, said Henry, but white with big brown spots all over is ugly. Mac put his hand to his mouth and coughed. For a moment, Henry thought he might be laughing. Okay, youngster, he said, have it your own way. Just tell me, where are you going? What you figure on doing? I'm running away, Mac, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Mac thought about that for a few seconds and a half. Just flat out running away, huh? Things get too much for you, so you cut out? Brilliant. I won't go back, Henry said. I just won't. Okay, then, you won't go back, but let me ask you something. Do you have a mother? Yes. Father? Yes. They been good to you? Yes. Don't beat up on you? Of course not. Don't make your life miserable? No. So they're pretty good parents, right? Right. And you love them because they're so kind and good, right? Yes. Well, how do you think they feel right now, wondering where you could be? Are you all right? Are you dead maybe? Yes, sir, you sure are treating them mean. Why, it wouldn't surprise me if your mother was crying her heart out right now, just sick to death with worry about you. But Mac, now you hush till I'm finished with what I have to say. A good child respects his parents, yes, sir. A good child doesn't cause his parents heartache or grief or worry, no, sir. Henry didn't try to say anything, but he was listening very carefully. Now here's my plan, kid. First thing we gotta do is drive down this road till we get to a telephone. Then we'll call your folks so they can stop worrying. I'm not going back to that hospital, Henry said firmly. Well, tell that to your folks too. Maybe there's someplace else you can go, some other doctor who can take care of you. I like that idea, Henry said. Who knows, Mac continued. Maybe this chocolate fever of yours will go away. Maybe you'll just wake up tomorrow and it'll all be cured. I hope so, said Henry, but I don't think so. Anyway, first thing we do is call your folks, okay? Henry smiled. There was something about the way There was something about the way Max spoke that made him feel better. How about it, Mac asked. Should we go find a telephone? What are we waiting for? Henry said. That's the end of chapter 8. Chapter 9 will be next. Hope you enjoyed this chapter.